So in the last lecture, we have seen the definition of a compact set, open cover, and one theorem related to compact set. Okay. Now, we, the theorem which we have seen in the last lecture, with the help of that, I can have one remark that compact subset of any T space need not be closed. Okay. What the remark we can write? Compact subset of any T space need not be closed. Need not be closed. What do you mean by the statement? That means if you have a T2 space, instead of this space, if I have T2 space, then the statement is true. Otherwise, it will not be true for any other any other space. That's why we have written it is did not be. Okay. For that, let me take another example. That means we have 2 is equal to, now in discrete T space. So in discrete T space, we have, now in case of indiscrete T space, we have to check whether it is a closed or not. Okay, compact subset we are going to take. Let X2 be a indiscrete T space. Let E be the any subset of X. Okay, now what we have proved about the indiscrete T space, also remember we have studied that X2 is a compact space, right? In case of indiscrete T space, it is a compact space, correct? Now let us consider E be the any subset of X, then we can say obviously E is compact. Why obviously E is compact? Can anyone tell me the reason?
Subset of compact space is compact.
Subset of compact space is compact. Okay, so we have to as a indiscrete topology, and we have already proved in the last lecture that it is a compact space. So as it is a compact space, we have considered any subset E of X, which is obviously compact. But can you guarantee that E is a closed set? How many closed set we have?
Only two.
Only two, that is phi and x. Why they are closed set? Because how to find out the family of a closed set? You know it is, these are nothing but the complements of members of tau. How the family K is defined? It is defined as F, where F complement is a open set. So how many open sets we have? Only two open set, phi and x. What is the complement of phi? X. What is the complement of x? Is phi. So the family K and tau are both same in case of indiscrete and discrete T space. So we cannot say that E is a closed set. So how many closed set we have? Phi and x. So E cannot be a closed set. So this is what the example or the counter example we can say for the last theorem. Okay, last theorem में क्या था? Compact subset of any T space need not be closed. So that we can have this example. You can say that this is an example for this statement. Need not be, right? It may or may not be, but you can have this example. If suppose you have a T2 space, then it is true. But here it is not a T2 space. It is simply a indiscrete T space. Okay, is the idea clear?
Yes, ma'am.
To understand this, you must know that how we have proved a indiscrete T space is a compact space. Okay, so you have to do a daily study so that you can come to know that what we are going to study in the next lectures. Okay, so from the last theorem, we can have a one statement that compact subset of any T space is not a closed, and for that we can have an example of a indiscrete T space. Now let us go for the next theorem. Closed subset of a compact space is a compact. Okay, closed subset of compact space is compact. Okay, now we are going to prove that being a compact space is a closed hereditary property. Our statement for this is being a compact space is closed hereditary. Those who are really listening this lecture, so they can come to know, they will have a question for this one, right? Just now we have written, we have a compact space, indiscrete T space is a compact space. Then I have written obviously E is a compact. So I think Rutuja said me that subset of a compact space is a compact, so that's why we have written the obvious statement, right? I think Rutuja you have told this, no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So that is what, no doubt, whatever she told is by the that obvious statement. Okay, because in the mathematics the word obvious is very dangerous, right? So here you can have closed subset of a compact space is compact space. Now you can come to know here, if it is a closed subset of compact space, then only it is a compact. But here without knowing anything whether it is closed or not, no doubt वो closed तो नहीं होगा, right ना? Because we have only two closed set, phi and x. So closed subset of compact space is compact, but we are having the condition only that indiscrete T space is a compact. अगर indiscrete T space compact space है, तो उसका subset हम directly compact नहीं बता सकते, right ना?
Yes, ma'am.
Because of this statement, closed subset of a compact space is compact. और statement for this is being a compact space is hereditary. ऐसे अगर मैंने लिखा होता तो it is okay, but here I have included one more word, being a compact space is a closed hereditary. What do you mean by being a compact space is a closed hereditary? मतलब आपका सबसेट जो आप सिलेक्ट कर रहे हो वो क्लोज होगा तभी उसको हम कॉम्पैक्ट बता सकते हैं, राइट? Getting me? Up to now, whatever the theorem we have studied related to hereditary property, the condition was being a T0 space is hereditary, being a T1 space is hereditary, being a T2 space is a hereditary. कहीं पे भी ऐसा नहीं था ना, being a T0 space is closed hereditary. So here one more extra statement is there. So here you can have a comparison whenever you are going to prepare a table. Okay, T0, T1, T2, then compact space, regular space, T3, T3 half, completely regular. So at that time you can write the remark that this is not a hereditary but it is a closed hereditary. Okay. So whatever the statement I have written here, obviously E is a compact space. You have to find out the answer. The answer is very easy, not a very much difficult answer, but you should know everything about indiscrete T space, how the subsets look like, and how to use the definition of compact space for indiscrete. Then you can come to know, this is what a compact space, right? Yes, can anyone give me the reason of the word obvious? So that's why whenever in the mathematics the word obvious is there, you have to think. Okay, it is very easy. What you have to do to prove A is a compact? Okay, suppose we haven't included the word obviously E is compact. So how to prove E is a compact? Take a open cover. What is a open cover for E? हॅलो आहेत ना, टेस्ट मधून बाहेर या सगळे, झाली टेस्ट आता काम करू शकत नाही. Okay, what is a open cover? What do you mean by open cover? Open cover means what? The open sets which are going to cover the set E. Right? How many open sets we have?
Only two open sets.
Only two open sets. Out of which one will cover your set E?
X will cover.
X will cover your set E. That means this X itself is an open cover. Don't assume that we should have a many number of a countable number of open set. जितने हमारे पास है उसी का हमें यूज करना है, right? In case of indiscrete T space, we have only two open covers, or we can say two open set. So out of those open set, we can select one of the open set which covers E, right? So E covers, X covers E. This is what a open cover. Now, which will be the finite subcover for E? The X itself is a finite subcover out of this open cover. X itself is a finite subcover. फाइनाइट नंबर ऑफ एलिमेंट मिल गए ना आपको ई को कवर करने के लिए, जस्ट लाइक योर नोटबुक, राइट? नोटबुक के लिए आपको एक कवर भी सफिशिएंट है, सो हियर आल्सो ओनली वन कवर इज सफिशिएंट टू कवर योर ई इन केस ऑफ अ indiscrete space. No need to have a many open covers since we have only two open sets. Okay, is the idea clear about the word obvious?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so here we are going to prove being a compact space is a closed hereditary. You can have the comparison now. It is closed hereditary, not a hereditary property. Now let us start with the proof. So what is there in the proof? First we have to write down the given thing. What is given to us? X2 is a compact space. Next, what is given to us? E is a subset of X, is a closed set. Right? It is a closed set. What is our aim to prove that? Our aim is to prove that E is a compact. E is a closed subset of X2 and we have to prove it is a compact. अगर वो closed है तभी वो compact होगा, right? X2 is a compact space. E is a closed. We have to prove it is a compact. Is the idea clear? What is given and what is our aim to prove?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you have to first read the statement, try to find out what is given and what is our aim to prove. Okay. To prove that E is a compact, that is what we can assume to prove E is a compact, we can select the open cover. Okay. Let the family G alpha, where alpha belongs to the index set, be the open cover. Right, now here in this case we can select the G alpha because we don't know what is X2, what is X, what is the members of tau. So for that we can select the in general. But in case of a indiscrete we are knowing the what are the open set. यहाँ पे हमें कुछ भी पता नहीं है, right? X is arbitrary, tau is also arbitrary. So that's why we have assumed let G alpha be the open sets which are going to cover your set E. Okay, so let family G alpha be the open cover for set E. Then we can say E is covered by the family of G alpha, where alpha belongs to the index set, right? So we have written this one. Let me give the name as a 1. Now what we have to use, what is given to us? X2 is a compact space. Okay, when we can use the definition of a compact space? If we have the open cover. Okay, अगर open cover exist होता है X के लिए तो ही हम कह सकते हैं कि हाँ ये compact space है और इसके लिए हम finite subcover find out कर सकते हैं with the help of a definition. Okay, getting me how to use a definition of a compact space?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so now we have to use a definition of a compact space and as well as we have to use the property of E is a closed set. Okay, so let me write down X as a E union E complement. बरोबर ना?
Yes, ma'am.
So what is given to us? E is a closed set. It is given to us, right? X is a compact. These two things we are provided and we have to use this. If E is a closed set, what will be E complement?
Open.
Open set, right? Okay. Now, from equation 1, what we can know, E is contained in union of all G alpha. So if instead of writing E, if I write this one, so this equality relation will be converted to subset. बरोबर? E च्या जागी आपण G alpha लिहिणार आहे. Union of all G alpha, alpha belongs to the index set. Right? Union, this E complement as it is, this X is also as it is. Any doubt for this statement?
No, ma'am.
सिंपली E की जगह पे हमने यूनियन ऑफ ऑल G अल्फा यूज किया है और जो सबसेट रिलेशन है वो एज इट इज कैरी होगा. दैट इक्वालिटी विल बी नाउ कन्वर्टेड टू सबसेट. नाउ व्हाट इज गिवन? E complement is open and this union of G alpha are also open sets, no? Open cover we have assumed. Okay, so finally we can say that this union of all G alpha and that E complement both are open sets, no? Union of all G alpha are also open sets, as well as E complement is also open set. So union of open set is again open set.
Yes, ma'am.
Arbitrary union of open set is open set. You can write the reason for 2 is a topology. Okay, or in particular you can write the fourth property of a topology. That is arbitrary union of open set is open set. This is open, this is also open. So combinedly it will be a open curve. So now can you say that this union of G alpha combining with E complement, both are open. This is also open cover, this is also open set, and X is a compact space, right? So now we have found the open cover for X. Barabar? So which implies union of all G alpha and this E complement combinedly is a open cover for X. Correct? Are you getting the statement?
Yes, ma'am.
ओके सिंपली ओपन कवर फाइंड आउट करना था ना, एक्स कॉम्पैक्ट है इसका डेफिनेशन यूज करने के लिए. ओके so if we want to use the definition of X is compact space, we have now found the open cover. So now we can use the definition since X is compact, it implies it has a finite subcover. Okay, now let me write down the finite subcover for that. What is given to us? X is covered by family of the open cover union of all G alpha and E complement. Okay, so I can now say with the help of a definition it has a finite subcover, which we can write union of all G alpha where I runs from 1 to n. Instead of alpha belongs to the index set. Union this E complement we will keep it as it is. The n number n plus 1, that means finite number of open set has now covered your X. Okay, this is what open cover and this is what a finite subcover. Okay, by using the definition of X is compact, we have found the finite subcover for this. I runs from 1 to n. Okay, what do you mean by this? पहले जो X था आपका उसको open covers ने cover किया था. Okay, out of those open cover, we are going to select some finite number of cover which are going to cover X. Okay, if this is possible, then only we can say X is a compact space. ऑलरेडी एक्स कॉम्पैक्ट स्पेस दिया है, इसका मतलब वो फाइनाइट सबकवर एग्जिस्ट होते हैं. ओके, सो नाउ what is this one we have selected with the help of E na. Those who remember, we have written X is equal to E union E complement and X is contained in this. So instead of writing this E is contained in this one, now what we have written X is E union E complement. What was your E? E is contained in union of all G alpha where alpha belongs to the index set. So instead of having those G alpha, now I can write the same statement for E as E is contained in union of all G alpha. Now they can be covered by finite number of open sets. Okay, यहाँ पे से सिर्फ आपको E complement निकाल देना है, right? If I remove E complement, what I remains? This is what your E na. E is contained in this, and E can be covered now by the finite number of open sets. Okay. Okay, let me show you once again. ये X को हमने कैसे लिखा था? E union E complement. E क्या है आपका? E is nothing but this open cover. Just from this statement, just remove E complement. If I remove E complement, what I remains? E is covered by union of all G alpha. But यहाँ पे आपका E आएगा ना? Right? If I remove E complement, I will remain with the E. So E is now covered by finite number of open sets. Okay, सिर्फ आपको E complement remove करना है. कहाँ से? आपके X के finite subcover से. Right? So which implies E has a finite subcover. which implies E has a finite subcover, and hence by definition we can say E is a compact. Okay, is the idea clear? What we have to do? First we have to write X as a union of E and E complement, and property of E is a closed is important. So that's why only we can say E complement is open, and if E complement is open, we we can say this is a open cover. Okay, and if you find the open cover, then you can use the definition of a compact space, and after using the definition just remove E complement. So अगर आप E complement remove कर रहे हैं तो X को कैसे लिखा था आपने E union E complement. So E can be now written as E is contained in finite union of open set, and which is nothing but the finite subcover of a E. If you have a doubt, you can ask me. If not, let me go for the. Now, can you tell me the converse statement for this theorem? What was the statement? Closed subset of a compact space is compact, or being a compact space is a closed hereditary, right? Yes, what will be the converse statement for this? P implies Q है ना statement. Closed subset of compact space is compact. So what will be converse statement? Q implies P. Is it so difficult? Many times we have done this in the 11th or 12th standard, no?
Yes, ma'am.
P implies Q, negation of Q implies negation of P, and the contrapositive and original statements are same. Right, with the help of statement also we have done this.
If
Yes,
X is not compact space, then their subsets also not compact.
no, that is what a negation you have told. I am asking converse statement. P implies Q, Q implies P. Negation नहीं करना है हमें. अगर मैंने ऐसा लिखा होता negation of P implies negation of Q, that is okay. Then negation of Q implies negation of P, it is contrapositive. This one and P implies Q, both are equal. Okay. Q implies P क्या होगा?
Set of compact spaces
हाँ,
need not be closed up.
हाँ compact है इसका मतलब क्या होगा? Need not be closed. Okay, compact subset of a compact space need not be closed. Okay, in the compact space, if you have a compact set, it need not be closed. And the counter example for this is the last example which we have studied is a indiscrete space. In case of indiscrete space, we have proved, right? No, E is also compact and space is also compact. Compact space है, subset भी compact है, but वो closed नहीं है, बरोबर ना?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. We have proved E is not a closed. Why it is not a closed? Because only two closed set we have, phi and x, right? Space भी compact space है, subset भी compact है, but वो closed नहीं है. So you can write the converse statement is not true, and for that we can have a counter example is a indiscrete space. Okay, why I am giving every time the counter example, so that you should have a habit to build up this type of a statement. P implies Q है तो Q implies P true है कि नहीं? Obviously true नहीं होगा, क्योंकि अगर वो true होता तो हमको P implies and implies Q के statement में होता ना. just like your Lagrange's theorem. Okay, if you have H is a subset of G, then order of G divides the order of group. But it is not possible always ना, अगर group 10 ग्रुप का ऑर्डर 10 है, अगर 2 से डिवाइड करता है, मतलब इसका गारंटी नहीं है ना कि 2 ऑर्डर का कोई सबसेट एग्जिस्ट होगा. नो डाउट इट विल बी ट्रू व्हेन वी इट इज अ प्राइम. अगर प्राइम है तो वो ट्रू है, right? So that it will have one more condition, right? So you have to be very keen about that. We have statement P implies Q, then what will be negation of P implies negation of Q. ये भी एक दो स्टेटमेंट बनेगा आपके लिए. Q implies P ये नॉट ट्रू है, राइट? सो नॉट ट्रू स्टेटमेंट भी आते हैं ना आपके एमसीक्यू में. स्टेटमेंट 1, स्टेटमेंट 2, then which of the following is true, and then we can have another statement as negation of Q implies negation of P. So this is what a contrapositive statement. Okay, now in this, after this point, let us go for convergence of a sequence. Now, before going to this one, in the topology, I want to know what is a convergence of a sequence you have studied in our real analysis.
Ma'am, I have one doubt. If we
Yes.
take compact set or open set as a
Okay,
space,
you want to say if instead of having closed, if it is open. Is it okay?
yes, ma'am.
The idea is clear. Now, for that, I will have one more counter example, but actually, abhi wo available nahi hai. But you can get this counter example in the KP Gupta book or in the Shivaji University. They have given this in the exercise session. वहाँ पे उन्होंने एक एग्जाम्पल दिया है जहाँ पे उन्होंने बताया कि अगर आप ओपन सबसेट भी लेते हो तो वो कॉम्पैक्ट होगा, इसका कोई गारंटी नहीं है. इट मे डिपेंड ऑन द सिचुएशन. ओके, आपका एक्सट्रो क्या है, अगर वो टोपोलॉजिकल स्पेस हमको पता है और उसका सबसेट का नेचर भी पता है तो एट दैट टाइम वी कैन नो, राइट? बट वन काउंटर एग्जाम्पल definitely it is available in our KP Gupta book, maybe in the Lindelof space. Lindelof space और compact space दोनों equivalent है, थोड़ा सा डिफरेंस है. तो Lindelof space का जहाँ पे आपको मिलेगा उसके नीचे एक काउंटर एग्जाम्पल आपको मिलेगा कि अगर आप ओपन सबसेट भी लेते हो तो वो प्रॉपर्टी नीड नॉट बी ट्रू है. नीड नॉट का मीनिंग क्या है? इट मे बी ट्रू इन सम केसेस वेयर यू नो एवरीथिंग. मतलब यहाँ पे हमको x2 क्या है एग्जैक्टली पता नहीं है ना. And if you know what is X2, E and everything, then you can come to know, this is true or not. Is the idea clear now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Just tell me what is the convergence of a sequence? We have studied the convergence, no? मांगा लोग टाइम नहीं है. As we are in the PG level, no, we should have a discussion session, not the lecture. Okay, जो भी टीचर लिखते हैं वो एज इट इज लिख के लेना. वो तो 8th बहुत ज्यादा, मतलब 5th 6th और 8th तक सफिशिएंट है ना. एज इट इज जो भी टीचर ने क्वेश्चंस आंसर बोर्ड पे लिखे एज इट इज लिख के लेना. वी शुड हैव अ हेल्दी डिस्कशंस नाउ. हम
Sequence is said to be
हाँ बोलो.
sequence is said to be convergent after some n if all the terms after that n of sequence gets closure and it converges to n.
That means you want to say the sequence Sn will converge to limit L if the whatever we are going to consider after nn, after greater than n, it will be the distance between Sn and L is going to be less, that we can consider the epsilon. For epsilon greater than 0, the mod of Sn minus L is less than epsilon for all n greater or equal by n. What do you mean by this statement? Suppose I have the sequences S1, S2, S3 and so on. Suppose Sn, then Sn plus 1 and so on. So after n and onwards, right? After n, what do you mean by this? For all n greater or equal by n. After this n, all the terms of the sequence will converge to L after n. That means Sn plus 1, Sn plus 2, all these terms will converge to the limit L, and this L is called now the limit of that sequence. That is called a convergence of the sequence. Okay, what do you mean by this statement that जो भी आपके terms है after n there are so many infinitely terms, right? And before n we have only n terms. Suppose I have considered here 10. Okay, S10 के बाद के जो भी terms है वो आपकी sequence के say S11, S12 all are converged to your say it is 1. So 1 is a limit point. Okay. Now my question is what you told that after n and onwards all the terms will converge to L. Is it okay? We are saying about all the terms after n. Suppose after 10, S10 के बाद. But what about the S1, S2 up to Sn? क्या उसके लिए भी वही limit point होगा?
Yes, ma'am.
How you can say this? Because we have proved or we have a definition that for all n greater or equal by n.
Ma'am, because they are finite in terms and also they are closed.
I'm not satisfied. No doubt the statement they are finite in terms is okay. But what about the closed?
Bounded असणार ma'am.
बाउंडेड आहेत का? बाउंडेड असेल तर लिमिट पॉइंट एक्झिस्ट होतो. This sequence is also bounded, na? Minus 1 raised to n. Minus 1 and 1, but it is not a convergent. It has two limit points. Whatever you have told the term finite, it is okay. But you have to elaborate this that these
ते
are
ऑसिलेटेड पॉइंट आहेत ना मॅम.
हाँ these are oscillations ना. यहाँ पे oscillations है. कोई फाइनाइट एक नंबर नहीं मिलता है ना जहाँ पे हम कह सकते कि हाँ दिस वन इज अ लिमिट पॉइंट. Okay, so the statement is what these S1, S2 up to Sn, these are finite number of terms. Okay, and here we have written the statement for all n greater or equal by n, right? That means the Sn plus 1 and onwards, these are infinite number of terms, and L is a limit for these infinite number of terms. If L is a limit for all the infinite number of terms, I can say directly that L is a limit for those finite number of terms. बरोबर?
Yes, ma'am.
अगर L infinite numbers के लिए limit है तो obviously L will be a limit for a finite number of terms. Okay, and this same statement you can evaluate it as this Sn will be lies in between L minus epsilon to L plus epsilon. That means after n and onwards all the terms will lie in the very small interval. What is that small interval? L minus epsilon टू एल प्लस एप्सिलॉन. ओके, इतना छोटे से इंटरवल में आपके सभी इनफाइनाइट नंबर ऑफ टर्म्स एग्जिस्ट होते हैं, राइट? विच मीन्स दैट दिस ऑल द terms of the sequence will converge to the limit L. Okay, this is what we have studied in the real analysis. The definition in our topology is very similar, but we have to study this with the help of a open sets. Okay, so let me write the definition of a convergence of sequence in topology. Okay, let X2 be a T space. Firstly, we have X2 is a T space. We have the sequence Xn. Let us consider Xn be the sequence of points. Let Xn be the sequence of points in capital X. Okay, we have xn is a sequence of point in capital X. Then the sequence xn is said to converge to X. Then the sequence xn is said to converge to X if for any open set G containing X, if for any open set G, instead of writing any open set, we can say for all open set G containing X, if for any open set G containing X, there exists a natural number n belongs to n such that xn belongs to G for all n greater equal by n. This n we can consider for all n greater equal by n, all the terms of the sequence will belongs to the G. Now one may have a question, this xn we have taken here. Now instead of having the open interval, यहाँ पे हमने open interval लिया था ना, यहाँ पे हमने actually mod of Sn minus L is less than epsilon for all n greater equal by n. Actual definition क्या है? For all epsilon greater than 0, we can have the for all epsilon greater than 0 for all n greater equal by n, mod of Sn minus L is less than epsilon, which implies Sn is a limit of L, right? ये definition है आपका convergence का real में, which is very equivalent to say that all the terms of Sn will lie in the interval L minus epsilon to L plus epsilon after n greater equal by n. Okay? Are you agree with the statement?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So whatever the definition we have given, we have converted this in the form of a interval. Now this open interval is now converted to open set in our topology. That means instead of having the open interval, यहाँ पे हमने क्या लिखा था? Sn will belongs to L minus epsilon to L plus epsilon. Instead of that open interval, we have simply converted this to a set G, and xn will belongs to G after nn onwards. Okay? Have you understood the definition?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Xn will set to converge to X if all the terms of Xn will belongs to here the open set G. Instead of having the open interval, we have now converted this to open set. So all the terms of the sequence will belongs to the set G after n is greater or equal by n. Okay, then we can say that X is a limit point of the sequence Xn. Okay? If anyone you have a doubt, you can ask. If not, let us go for one example of a convergence of the sequence. X is equals to set of natural number I will take, and 2 is a topology defined by phi union an, where n runs from 1, 2, 3 and so on. This type of topology we have already defined. Right, no?
Yes,
Somewhere
ma'am.
after T2 space. This was a T0 only, but it is not a T1 and T2. Okay. Here already we have proved X2 is a T space. And the homework for you people was to prove it is T0 and not a T1, not a T2. Okay. So we are going to consider this space to find out the convergence. Okay, first we should take one sequence xn in a t space, and then we have to find out the limit point of that sequence. Okay. For that, let us consider the sequence xn in capital N. Let xn be the sequence in capital N. Okay, N is whatever universal set. And we can consider xn to be sequence as xn is equal to n. Sequence we can consider, right? 1, 2, 3, 4. This is also one sequence. No doubt we will find out whether it has a limit point or not. Okay? So xn is equal to n for all n belongs to capital N. So firstly, we have defined the sequence. We have considered one sequence, right? Now, what is our aim to find out? Let k belongs to n. Right, what is n? N is nothing but your x. Okay, we have considered let k be the any point in natural number. Now we have to show that k is a limit point. Okay. Now don't assume, don't go for our real analysis. In the real analysis, 1, 2, 3 and so on, this is not a convergence sequence. Right now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the definition is somewhat different in our टोपोलॉजी. यहाँ पे हम ओपन इंटरवल नहीं कंसिडर कर रहे. यहाँ पे अगर आप ओपन इंटरवल कंसिडर करोगे तो डिफिकल्ट है. अगर आप यहाँ पे ओपन सेट कंसिडर कर रहे हैं तो ओपन सेट्स का नेचर क्या है यहाँ पे? an, right? What are the open set? We can have the open set as it may start with 1, 2, 3 and so on. This is what your original set x. And the second one, that is A2, will be 2, 3, so on. A3, E4 and so on. So these are what the open sets in our topology. Now, what is our aim to show that k is a limit point of your sequence. Now, we can say it is to prove that the sequence xn converges to k. Okay, so that is to prove that we have the open sets for all the open set, because the statement is what? For all open set G containing X, Xn belongs to G. Okay, that means we have to find out one open set G, rather arbitrary number of open set, as we have written for all the open set G containing X, na? So we have to find out for all the open set G containing K. Okay. K is a limit point, no? So that's why we should find out for all open set G containing the point K. Right? How many open sets will be there which contains a point K? Okay, just consider K is a 10. So now can you tell me how many open sets are there which contains point 10?
A1 up to A10.
A1, A2, A3 up to A10. These are the open sets which contain the 10. Okay, if instead of that, if I have considered 100, how many open sets are there which contain the point 100? You can say A1, A2, A3 up to so on 100, A100. बरोबर ना? Try to
Yes, ma'am.
imagine the things. A1, A2, A3 ये सभी आपके दिमाग में होना चाहिए, right? Because we are dealing now with the open sets which are written in the form of this A2, A3, A4 and so on. That's why I have written here 4, 5, 6 and so on. So open sets containing K are, I can write them as A1, A2, A3 up to so on AK. These are what? The number of open sets which contain K. Because what is the statement? For all open set G containing the point K. You have to find out all the open set G containing the point X as per the definition. But X च्या जागी इथे काय K आहे. So we have to find out for all open set G containing the point K. Okay, now half job is done because we have found the open set containing the point K. So we can now select this open set G may be one of this open set A1, A2 up to so on AK. Okay, it may be any open set from this A1, A2 up to so on AK. Okay, let us consider G to be some AR. What is R? R will be in between 1 and K. Out of many number of open set, we have to select at least one open set which satisfy the condition that Xn belongs to G for all n greater equal by n. Right? Xn belongs to G for all n greater equal by n. Right? यहाँ पे हमें K लिखना है. K belongs to G. Okay. Instead of having G, we have considered A1, A2 up to so on AK. Is the idea clear?
Yes, ma'am.
G is equal to some AR, right? So what will be the AR now? How I can write AR? It may start
R
with
plus
suppose R is some out of this. Suppose K I have considered 100, right? How many open set I will have? A1, A2 up so on A100. That means 100 open sets, right? For all 100 open set. Now out of those 100 open set, let us assume A50 I have written. Okay, what will be A50? It will start with 50, 51 and so on. So यहाँ पे भी हम in general लिख ले, right? AR is equal to some R plus 1 and so on. So we can say now there exists R belongs to N just like a definition. There exists a natural number N belongs to capital N. We can say there exists R belongs to capital N such that Xn, the terms of Xn will belongs to G. What is G? G is nothing but your AR for all n greater equal by R. Instead of capital now N, now it is all n greater equal by R. So which implies the definition is what? For all n greater equal by R, Xn should belongs to AR. Belong करणार का नाही?
yes, ma'am.
Okay, AR क्या है आपका? Assume that AR is A50. Okay. Okay, all the terms of the your sequence will now belongs to A50 after 50. 50 के बाद के सभी terms आपके sequence में है और we can say आपके set में है A50 में है कि नहीं?
Yes, ma'am.
A50 में कौन से terms है? 50, 51, 52, 53 and so on. Right? How we have considered the sequence Xn is equal to n. Okay, 1, 2, 3 and so on. And so on. And what the statement we have written for all n greater equal by r. That means for all n greater equal by 50, all the terms of the sequence will belongs to A50. Right? Just like our sequence S1, S2, up to S10. S10 तक हम consider नहीं करते. यहाँ पे भी 1, 2, 3 up to 49. 1, 2, 3 up to 49 we haven't considered. These are finite number of terms. And after those 50, all the terms of the sequence will belongs to your set G. What is set G? A50. Okay? Which implies by definition we can say Xn will converge to K, or we can say the sequence N will converge to the 50. Okay? No doubt it is somewhat different one to understand, but you should have a practice and you should write down A1, A2, A3 क्योंकि ये in general हमने prove किया है. आप that's why I have written here A50, K100, K is equal to 100 because arbitrary अगर हम assume करेंगे तो कुछ भी नहीं समझ में आएगा. Right? Open set containing K R A1, A2, A3 कहाँ से आए A1, A2, A3? So that's why we have to assume K is some number. Okay. So how many open sets will be there which contain that number? Suppose K is 10. So A1, A2 up to A10. These are open sets which contain your point 10. And out of all those open sets, we have to select one open set which will contain all the points greater equal by that. Suppose in case of 10, we have considered 5. Okay. After 5 and onwards, all the terms will contain in that of AR. Barobar?
Yes, ma'am.
Try to understand. If you have a doubt, you can ask me. Okay, try to solve this with the help of assuming k to be any number. आपको जो नंबर अच्छा लगता है उसके हिसाब से आप k को assume करो और वो example solve करो, so that you will come to know that how to solve it in general. Okay, if you have a doubt, you can ask. Otherwise, I will have one remark for this. This is what the main remark in our difference between convergence in real and topology. We will continue this in the next lecture. You can leave the meeting already. That next lecture will be there. Okay, you can leave the meeting. Thank you.